Hi, everybody. It's Andrea. A little late today. I didn't do anything yesterday. It was Sunday and I was tired. And today is Monday. It's my day off. So I contemplated a lot whether I wanted to do anything. But I was listening to Victor Davis Hanson from a few days back while I walked the dog. And he said something that was very interesting. He was talking about AOC's fake Southern accent. And he was talking about how the DSA play act at being working class. None of them are working class. They are mostly from the wealthy, or at least the upper middle class. They're college educated. They are not people who make anything with their hands. He talked about the fact, interestingly enough, that the Dems' biggest donors are not people who have created anything concrete, anything solid. I mean, you take Reid Hoffman, and yes, Netflix is huge, but it is all on computers. They're money men, and two of the biggest donors are the angry ex-spouses of Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. They're dumped women who take their passion and dump unearned millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars into left-wing causes. And they've never really been in the trenches. They've never had a business. And I thought that was very interesting. So when he talked about this disconnect from the working class, he was also talking about going back to the Nixon presidential runs, that the Democrat strain has always leaned left. There's always been a leftist strain in the party. They nominated Humphrey, they nominated McGovern, they nominated Mondale, they nominated the guy who was completely Dukakis. And he said all of these have been northern leftists, and Americans rejected them. Where the last time the Democrats had success before McGovern was with Lyndon Johnson, who was a Southern leftist, who was a Democrat. And this especially was in the days when the South was a Democrat that was very racist, as today's Democrat Party is. So it was a good fit. And they ran in 76. They tried again. They got a Southern Democrat, and it won. That person won. That was Jimmy Carter. And then in 1992, they got another Southern Democrat. And these people could do good old boy, and they could do the working man thing, and I feel your pain, and they were one with the little people and the middle class. It all broke down with Al Gore and George W. Bush. They were both Southerners, and Al Gore couldn't lose the reek of the Ivy League, whereas George Bush did very well, despite them both being Yaleys. And then, of course, there was Barack Obama. Now, Barack Obama was black, so suddenly what triumphed over regionalism and working classness was race. But as Victor Davis Hanson pointed out, Obama loved putting on fake Southern accents. So Obama runs his course. Who do they come up with? Hillary Clinton, another northern leftist, who had a long history of being unpleasant and derogatory and demeaning about working class people. But she thought, hey, I'm a woman, it's my turn, and I'll do fake Southern accents. Didn't work. And then he says you have Joe Biden, who came from Delaware, and a northerner, but loved talking about how Delaware had been a slave state and how he got along really well with Strom Thurmond and Robert Byrd and the other old-time Southern Democrats. So they've done this a lot, where they've tried to pretend to a working class Southern earthiness that is actually missing from them. And that's why he was anything can happen, but he was dismissive of AOC's bizarre attempt at a Southern accent when she was recently speaking somewhere. I mean, it was even worse than Hillary's Southern accent. And he said they keep trying to pretend to be working class, but they don't know how. It's utterly fake, whereas Donald Trump, who comes from Queens, is completely working class despite his wealth, and he's completely authentic. He never fakes accents. He never fakes clothing. He never fakes duck hunting. He doesn't have to fake anything. He loves the American people. He loves ordinary Americans. He is an ordinary American, despite his wealth, despite everything he is. He is a true American original. But I am not so dismissive of AOC, despite her ludicrous Southern accent, and despite the fact that she is dumb as a rock, and that she thinks giving a massive company tax breaks to provide jobs for New Yorkers like Amazon is stealing from New York, that tax breaks are the same as stealing from New York. I mean, her understanding of economics, that she thinks that the Senate is a Jim Crow relic, the Senate that was part of the United States Constitution. Dumb, ill-informed. She opens her mouth and stupidity oozes out. We've all seen the memes. But I'm with Ben Shapiro. Never underestimate AOC and never understand how the American population has changed. So first thing is that AOC is telegenic. She is glib, and you can call her donkey chompers, which I think is really funny. And she has those senpaku eyes, or whatever they're called, that Japanese thing where you can see the white entirely around her eye, which makes her look like a nervous, unstable, or sinister animal. But she is beautiful. We'd be lying if she's a heck of a lot prettier than Hillary or Michelle or Kamala. So AOC has looks going for her. She's very telegenic. She knows how to use it. She knows how to spout a memorized line. She has really good managers. She has people who put words in her mouth. Kamala Harris had someone like that in Willie Brown, who'd been the first Black Speaker of the California legislature, and then later became San Francisco mayor. And he was Kamala's paramour. Willie Brown is brilliant. He is probably one of the most effective, savvy politicians America has seen in a long time. Why he didn't try for national office, I do not know. But he was her Svengali. He was the one who told her what to say and what to do. And when she got into the White House, according to rumor, the Biden people cut her off from Willie Brown. And that's when she started babbling and being stupid and being inarticulate and having weird policies, because she didn't have her brain anymore. Currently, I believe AOC's brain is a man of Indian descent, or maybe Indian birth. I think, do not quote me on this, his name might be Chakrabarti, who, whatever his name is, he's a very radical communist. And he is her Svengali. He is the one who apparently helps her along, and he's good. And she's good. She may not be the brightest bulb or the most educated, but she's good. But the other thing is, there are two sides of the equation. It's not just the candidates, it's the voters. In 1968, 72, 76, 92, even 2000, a big majority of Americans had been born in America, and they had generational Americanism at their back, and they were, for whatever it's worth, mostly white. They had been educated in schools, especially in 68 and 72 and 76, that were patriotic and that taught history and civics, that did not denigrate America nonstop. They had been raised on movies that were patriotic and TV shows. As Vince Coyner, a writer at American Thinker, noted, the bicentennial was a nationally exciting event. We were just all crazy about it. The sesquicentennial, bicentennial? Anyway, the 250th anniversary, bisesquicentennial, whatever it is, obviously it's my day off and my brain is taking part of the day off, did not generate that excitement, and the left instantly politicized it and made it clear that if you celebrated the 250th anniversary, you were celebrating Donald Trump, and America is evil, and America killed the Native Americans, and America is racist and was founded on slavery. So America has changed tremendously. The pop culture, the government, the news, and most especially education. We have had 50 years of children raised on America hatred, anti-white race hatred, Bible hatred. It's not the same group of voters who, when push came to shove, gave Nixon 49 out of 50 states. We now have a group of voters, some raised in America, some raised abroad, some who are voting from cemeteries, some who are illegal aliens, but a vast cohort of voters who buy the shtick that the pretty AOC is selling them. And on that cheerful note, because I always like to leave you on a cheerful note, thank you so much for joining me on my day off and listening to my slightly scattered, but still, I hope, logical, intelligible thoughts.